Hello, everyone. Welcome. Wait. I learned my lesson the hard way last time. Okay. My AirPods should be my mic, so it should be okay because yes, I am outside. Welcome to this week's live stream AMA. Let me know if you can hear me well in the chat. And with that, throw your questions in the YouTube live chat or the Twitter live chat, not the Twitter comment section, the live chat section. And yeah, today's gonna be chill. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time together. Um, Luke said he's gonna be a little bit late, and you know what that means. What do we do when Luke is late? We talk trash. Oh, damn, he just showed up. That's what happens. I always like open it up like, "Hey guys, Luke isn't here. Let's talk trash about him." And then he shows up like he hears it, like he knows. Um, I don't know where he was, but anyways, he's here. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, I'm just getting wrapped up in a little bit of work today.
You're gonna have more hair than me soon.
Yeah, I mean the mullet is
It's coming in.
yeah, it's coming in. Yeah, how are you doing today, guys? Heidi, is there anything that you want to go over today first before we start to dive into more of the normal AMA stuff? In this
Yeah.
AMA, oh, go ahead.
Is it me or is it you? It might be me. My Wi-Fi at this hotel is iffy, but you're also cutting out. Okay, quality from me, long hair from Luke. We need like a who's who's do you even have a barber?
uh, no, I mean that's kind of why. You don't like it?
It's a vibe, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
I have pictures of you with like a normal haircut and it's kind of weird. I'm like, who's that?
yeah. I wouldn't say,
Um,
right?
okay, who like are we both glitching or are we not glitching? Is it just me?
I'm not seeing you glitch on my screen at all.
Okay, I'm seeing you glitch a little bit. So who knows? Okay, I do have a couple things to run through, and if at any point it starts glitching, just yell at me and I'll stop yapping. But if you guys recall, we're both good. We're great. Okay, cool. I can handle Luke glitching. Um, if you guys remember, we have a massive, massive VIP update coming. So let's quickly run through that because this is so important. I really want you guys to have a good understanding of what is coming. Now, if I were good at my job, I would have had the article up and ready to show you, but I don't. So give me 1 second here. Scroll through. Get ready for perfect. Perfect. That was so easy. I could have lied to you and just said, "Hold on, I'm just connecting." let me let me pull this up here. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay. Um let's do this. Hold on. Then I need to make this smaller. Nope, that's not working. Oh, now it's glitching. Okay, well, anyways, get ready for an upcoming VIP update. So this is coming June 1st, which is Monday at 6 p.m. UTC. So do the math, whatever you need to do there. 6 p.m. UTC on Monday, June 1st. I'm going to even look at my calendar again to triple check that Monday is June 1st. Yes, June 1st. This is when this update is coming. So tiers are getting an update. We're making it easier for new players to jump in. And then we're adding like higher tiers for more benefits for our top players. So few things to note. There is a 1 month VIP coupon coming. You guys have been begging for this for years at this point. So she is here. She is coming. And then there are 2 new tiers being added. So the new tier 1 is like a new low level tier. Okay. So its benefits will sit lower than the current tier 1, which is kind of like shifted to tier 2, roughly. I know there's updates to the values across the board, which you guys can see the chart in just a second. But so the new tier 1 is kind of lower than the one you're used to right now. And then the one you're used to right now is kind of shifting to tier 2. And what that means is that tier 2 kind of shifts to tier 4 and so on. Okay. Um, then of course there is the brand new tier 6, which is like an ultra high new level tier thing for top players. Um, So if you do not have VIP currently and you go and buy one of these coupons, you start out at different tiers. So if you just buy a 1 month VIP coupon, you will start out at tier 1. If you buy a 3 month, you start out at tier 2, etc. You can see them all here. So the thought process reasoning for this is, I know most of you guys listening probably already have VIP, so think back to the early days. I think it was when we refreshed VIP actually, or added tiering. I don't know, I don't remember, but the pixel that you spend on your VIP coupon don't count towards the pixel spent to help you tier up, right? Which kind of sucks. So instead of figuring out all of that crazy math or whatever, here's like a really awesome way to you just start at a higher tier. So yeah, that's kind of like the reasoning behind this, but I think it just makes sense even if you didn't know the backstory. So any existing VIP player can expect to keep equivalent perks, except where adjusted, right? So there's some adjustments along the way here. And then the base level for NFT landowner benefits have been buffed. So you can read through here, but like 30 bookmarks, 42 inventory slots, etc. Yeah, and then these are all of the tier numbers. I won't read through all of them. I know I did that one time and I think I even messed them up. So just look at this. Here. It's a lot better to read. Take a screenshot, look at it later, come back to the Pixels post. This is an older article, of course, but we will probably link this article or rewrite it. I haven't decided yet in the Monday announcement on Monday as a reminder. This is just for our friends here that don't have VIP. You can pick it up at the little booth in Terravilla. It's like southwest of the fountain. And of course, where you can see your benefits, like what you have, what tier you are, etc., is you click on the, hold on, let's wait for it. You click on, there you go, the HUD VIP benefits, and there's everything. So reminder, that is coming on Monday, June 1st at 6 p.m. UTC. Hold on, this got all messed up for me. Perfect. Yes. Okay, cool. That was one of the things I wanted to share. Oh yeah, the other things are just fun things. Fun things. Okay, so we have 2 different giveaways running right now. We haven't done a giveaway in a while, and now we're just magically running 2. So let me pull them up. One is on Stacked and one is on Pixels. The Pixels one was literally just posted. So you can go to, they're both on Twitter, on X. So you can go there and find them. Let me pull up Twitter real quick. So this one's really fun. But can you guess how many lilies were planted? Now I saw a bunch of questions in the comment section. I haven't gotten to answer them yet, but they're like, I told Alricky to leave when he wrote 6-7. But people are talking about, does this include yield boost, land surplus? Like, no, it literally is just like seed planted in ground. How many times did that happen throughout this whole event? So there've been lots of answers here already. I highly recommend you go and comment an answer, because you have literally nothing to lose by just commenting, guessing, and look what's up for grabs. That's right. It's going to be a bee NFT pet, which is super fun and exciting. So I highly recommend you go and not icky. This is funny because it's icky. Like, anyways, don't comment here. Ricky 6-7 again. You know, Ricky, you're like 30, right? So I feel like you're a little old for this behavior. But you know, to each their own. Anyways, go comment on this post, specifically this post, how many lilies you think are planted, and maybe you'll win an NFT bee pet, which is really fun. The second giveaway that we are running right now is on Stacked. This one's kind of fun. So if you guys saw, actually, hold on, let's do some backstory here. If you guys saw, I was just in Kosovo with Binance, and we were at Balkans Blockchain Week. It was really fun. I did like a whole 20, 30-minute presentation on like the story of Pixels and what it was like early days and like how it brought us to where we are right now, launching Stacked, and kind of like a brief overview of the story, which was really special and fun to be able to share in person. I feel like me and Luke yap a lot about all of this on here, but it was really cool to talk to people that don't know Pixels as well, or maybe are more familiar with our token, right? Because turns out the Balkans region is like super into crypto. It's hot out there. So anyways, oh yeah, Shine down here. He was such an angel. Shout out to Shine. Yeah, so this was really fun. And this was our booth. It was all stacked themed, which was really fun. I had a stupid amount of stickers, which I think also posted about. Yeah, it's so many stickers. I also had a few Chubkin stickers, which didn't make it into this image if this image decides to load at some point. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. But anyways, you can see here, it was really fun. It was a really cool experience. Yeah, so shout out to the Balkans. Back to the original point, we have a merch giveaway. We haven't done a merch giveaway. I think we did one when Luke and I were at Binance Blockchain Week, not this year. So like a year and a half ago was the last time we did a merch giveaway like this, where we tweet about it and then we mail it literally anywhere in the world. I remember that specifically because I made Luke do all of the mailing part and he didn't enjoy that. Anyways, so we have some every winner, there's 3 different packages going to be shipped out. Every winner is going to get each one of each design of the shirts, and then a couple postcards, and then like a few stickers of each time. You're literally going to get so many stickers. Like I was dividing them all up. I was like, okay, 4 stacked logo stickers and then 3 pixel stickers. Like you're going to get so many stickers. It'll be really fun. And then I also grabbed like a sheet of Binance stickers and a sheet of stickers from Balkans Blockchain Week specifically. So go and enter this one. This one is, I don't know, literally just as easy as the Pixels giveaway for the BPET right now, because it's just comment something funny and then like follow, like, retweet, whatever, the usual stuff. But just comment something funny. Anyways, we will be, I don't know when we're going to grab the winners for this, probably in the next several days. So you have some time. There were no Bob stickers, unfortunately. There were some Bob stickers at, in the Philippines this year, but that was because of our old man, Al Ricky. Sorry. I love you, Al Ricky. He printed them and they were huge though. Like, you guys might have seen glimpses of my laptop here and there and it's covered in stickers. I couldn't fit the Bob one because it was so enormous. It was going to cover up every other sticker I had on my laptop. So if we do Bob stickers again, I think we need to print like little mini ones and then we can just stick them everywhere. Like, let's just coat the city in Bob stickers. That'd be really fun. Okay. Those are like the few things that I wanted to mention today. We have the giveaway, the VIP update, of course. And then I also think, just like last time, or no, not last time, a couple of times ago, it would be really fun to do a little trivia for like, because Lily of the Valley ended, I think it was today or yesterday. I honestly I don't know which day it ended. I was off yesterday, guys. Okay, so cut me some slack. But it just ended, so I thought it would be fun to give away a few items that were in the shop, like we did a few weeks ago with trivia questions and stuff. So we can scatter those in along the way. But yeah, Luke, do you want to dive into any questions or talk about anything?
Yeah. You just promoted vandalism.
I said put Bob stickers all over the city. That's not vandalism, that's Bob celebration.
All right. So yeah, I think we can talk a little bit more about like state of where everything is with Pixels, with Web3 gaming, all of that today, right? I know we've been kind of going over this a lot, but one, it's because we are building with community. We've done that for 5 years now, right? And that means telling you guys what's working, telling you guys what's not working, and like being open and honest about where everything is right now, right? So, maybe some of the AMAs have not been so fun the last couple of weeks.
What do you mean? We're a blast.
Yeah, it's a blast, right? But yeah, a lot of what we're trying to figure out here in Pixels and with Web3 gaming is one, how do we make Web3 gaming work, right? Like, how do we build something that's durable and that can last, right? And what we've been doing over the last year is we've been working on three things at once, right? We've been working on Pixels, we've been working on Stacked, and we've been working on Chubkins. It's three different bets happening at once, right? And all these three bets were kind of working together, right? Like the core thesis is maybe we can have Stacked come in and help make Web3 gaming sustainable, right? And actually, Stacked and Pixels has done that. I think we shared some of these numbers, but let me just walk you through like the current most up-to-date numbers on where we're sitting at right now. And
I have a couple of them memorized from my talk. You ready?
well, let me share them. Let me share them because we have some updated numbers, right? We changed some of the methodology and how we calculate some of these things. This is actually an internal dashboard. We have some dashboards that are live on the staking website. I think these ones are probably more accurate towards the truth. So here, I'll show you where we're sitting at right now with return on reward spend on the 1 day, 7 day, 30 day, 90 day, 180, right? So, over the last 90 days, Core Pixels has been sustainable, right? Now, when you do play to earn, there's going to be spikiness. So some days you might have a return on reward spend that is under one. Like, for example, if we give out bounty fall rewards, that might make the return on reward spend for that given day, under one. But typically it averages out to like over one right now. So current state of Pixels is the game is sustainable generally, but it's not sustainable in a way that would lead to a ton of growth. So over the last 30 days, we've done 3 million pixel in revenue. That means about 3 million pixel in rewards as well, right? 3.3 million pixel rewards in the last 30 days. This includes Stacked, and this includes everything else, right? And then this is the net revenue as well. And here, this is all in pixel. I think if I show this in US dollars, it makes things make a little bit more sense as well too, just because it shows you kind of like what the revenue of the game has been and where it is in the net, right? So net revenue, today was break-even day. Last 7 days was $600. Last 30 days, technically Pixels was unsustainable in the 30-day, but on the net, on the 90-day and 180, it's been sustainable. This will happen when there's like peaks and drops, right? But where does that leave us basically? So net revenue being basically break even is a really good milestone to hit inside of the Pixel ecosystem, right? Pixels was not break even when it came to the rewards and the spend in the game for the better part of the 5 years that we've been building, right? We gave out a lot more rewards inside of the game than we were doing in revenue. Now, if you look at the net on the 180 days, there is sustainability inside of the game and ecosystem. However, we're basically just at break even. And what we're trying to do next is we're trying to see if we can get noticeable lift above break even. Why do we want to do this and why do we need to do this? Well, one, I think any ecosystem or protocol should be trying to be building towards some sustainability and profitability. So we have sustainability within the game. What we don't have right now is we don't have sustainability within like the business fundamentals, right? Which is important even if you're a protocol to understand, because protocols still have costs when it comes to game development, when it comes to servers, when it comes to operating expenses, and when it comes to growth as well. So if Pixels wanted to grow, that break even that we have right now is not leading to any current growth. Now, one thing that we would want to do if we wanted to start to grow Core Pixels is we would want to start running paid ads. One of the things that is not the best metric right now is what you would call our ARPDAU. Here, let me share this again. So current ARPDAU with the core game, if you average the last 30 days, the current ARPDAU is actually like basically break even as well. What you would want with an ARPDAO, this is a really technical term for most game developers, and like it's not something that normal users would ever care about, would be you would typically want an ARPDAO, average revenue per DAU, of like $1. So I would say Pixels is currently underperforming when it comes to monetization on where it needs to be when it comes to the net revenue, right? Now, why is this? Well, this is for two reasons. One is Pixels probably isn't monetizing as well as it can. And then two, Pixels is probably not allocating rewards as well as it can. So the rewards one is something that we're trying to cover with Stacked. I see that somebody made a post about how the new Stacked offers are pretty crappy right now. But we just rolled out a bunch of new offers today inside of Stacked. So when we try to attack the problem of how we make the business sustainable, not just the game sustainable, but now the whole fundamental business of making this core game something that can viably grow, what do we need to do? Well, one, again, we need to attack the reward side of things. So we need to figure out if we can actually increase return on reward spend through better targeted offers. Now, all the offers that you've seen in the game haven't really utilized the full ability of Stacked yet. Right now, up to this moment, all the offers that you saw in Stacked were basically just built on the team's like feel and gut and intuition, right? And now we're starting to integrate the data science loops into Stacked. So over the next week, you're going to see a lot of changes to the current offers. And this is because we're trying to figure out if we can actually use data science and data-driven offers to increase the return on reward spend inside of the gaming ecosystem, right? The other thing that we're trying to do is we need to address the monetization problem as well. Now, monetization, how do you address that? Well, that is addressed through building out better features, things like retention, and also new users. When we start to dig into the data, one of the things that we do find is all the new users that have joined Pixels, there are some in the last year are actually extremely good users, which is interesting, right? Basically, part of the core problem with Pixels may be slightly an audience problem, right? And this is also most likely linked to earnings as well, where the current system as it stands really incentivizes people to come in and, take as much as they can out of the ecosystem, which one leads to less of the right people getting rewards. Like a lot of the feedback that we get from Stacked is that a lot of the people who are using Stacked don't feel like they're getting the right types of offers, right? Like they say that they're loyal players. They say that they're the ones who deserve them. And yeah, we don't have any data-driven insights until today into Stacked. So we finally have the loops working where we can start to get more data-driven offers into Stacked. And we can see if that helps on two sides of things. One, keeping new players inside of the game who are playing the game because they found the game, they liked it, and they're discovering it. And two, we understand it also might lead to some churn. That might mean that some users might not get as many rewards as they did before, and they might not want to continue playing because of that. And that is something that the foundation and the game is probably going to have to move forward with because of this, right? Now, why do we care about building sustainable business, right? Well, it's because there is a live ecosystem, right? And the foundation has a primary objective of expanding the reach to play to earn, right? And that's a pretty normal objective for any enterprise, right? Whether it be a foundation or a business, like you want to see that the thing that you're building is growing and working, right? And just keeping something break even when it comes to users, when it comes to community, when it comes to like revenue is normally not the best situation, right? A normal business would normally shut down something that is break even. We don't want to do that at Pixels, and we're not going to, because this is Web3 and this is supposed to be community owned, right? And that was the whole thing that we built the premise of Pixels on, right? A community built game where the users own aspects of the game and the economy. So what does that leave us to do moving next? So one of the things that we're thinking right now is, given the numbers of Pixels, something probably does need to change, right? We're going to try to fine tune the rewards and see what we can do there. The other thing is probably how we develop features. And this is something I'm thinking about a lot right now. One of the things that we have not tapped into as much as we could, but anytime that we have done it has shown amazing results, is community-driven development. One of the best features that we ever added into core Pixels was the UGC feature, right? It's funny because the drama and the internal history of that particular feature, it was very contested inside of the company. a lot of us didn't think inside of the company that the users would be able to contribute good, meaningful art and objects into the game, but we were proven wrong when that happened, right? So some of what we're thinking about too is how we can start to allow the community to take over some of the development of the game when it comes to features, when it comes to all of this. Because if we can get these two things working together, we get better gameplay that more of the users are able to contribute towards, and two, better rewards and efficiency there, then there's actually potentially a pathway for growth inside of the Pixels ecosystem, right? So yeah, we don't quite know what it looks like yet, and probably expect a few updates from us in the coming weeks on what the plan exactly is there with that. But it's what you can probably expect on the community side when it comes to like future of the core game is we probably want to start to figure out really how we can open source Pixels and allow for the development of features from the community. I actually think it's viable now. Now, this is not the easiest thing to do, and it's actually kind of a technical feat to be able to open source truly the game in a way where users can meaningfully contribute. And there's also risk and things that we need to be considerate about when we think about doing that. One of the things that we need to think about when we think about an open source path is, one, how we can do this without leading to like big security threats, right? A potential pathway for that would be keeping Stacked as the core earning systems of the game, keeping that part closed sourced, but then open sourcing game server, that's just a stripped down version of the game server, and front end. Open sourcing the game server would take some time. We've had audits done on it where essentially it's possible, but it'll take a bit of work. It would probably take a team 2 to 4 months to fully get everything out and open sourced. But we could probably get the client open sourced in a much shorter time. Now, this isn't a for sure direction that we're going to go, but when I'm thinking about future and how we can actually build an ecosystem that grows, it's something that seems more and more interesting to me as we move on. One of the things that we need to be careful about when we think about this kind of direction is, one, how do we still make the pixel economy, durable and important? Well, one of the things that would be interesting is if we open source Pixel, the game, but then still made it so that earnings have to go through Stacked, we can make it so that any open source version of Pixels or any community contributed version or fork of Pixels would basically still need to use Pixel to distribute rewards and have to spend there. And that still makes staking and all these other ecosystems work and potentially even more durable and potentially even more interesting, right? Because we kind of gotten the game tuned to a point where it's sustainable. We could even add in guardrails around reward distribution and monetization, where we can make it bare minimum sustainable. For example, Stacked, how it works right now is we actually built Stacked to be B2B, which means that anybody can technically use it. We just haven't really opened up access because we're still experimenting and iterating with it. But one of the cool features about Stacked is you can actually give out rewards from a wallet balance. And you can budget from that accordingly as well too. So we can actually even make it so that the rewards from Stacked, even in an open source fork of Pixels, could come from spend generated in those games, and we can enforce like a minimum like return on reward spend, still have it hooked up into the staking ecosystem, and there's something interesting there. So that is one potential route that we're going to be exploring. The other option, obviously, is like we continue to build out and develop the game. We continue to build out and develop features and go down that direction. We also have two other bets that we've been working on, right? We have Stacked. We built it as a B2B platform, right? Now, one of the issues that Stacked is running into right now is, in the reality, there's not that many Web3 games out there that are sustainable. Actually, there aren't any. The only ones that are sustainable are the ones that are risk to earn, which we don't like that so much, to be honest. And it adds a lot of legal risk when it's not decentralized in a way where they're really not suitable candidates for Stacked anyways. And the most interesting games that are going to come out that are potential, users of Stacked would be things like Axie's new MMO, but that's still not out yet, right? So you can't really build a business around that when you think about growth for the Pixel ecosystem. The other bet that we have is also Chupkins too. Chupkins is something that we built ground up from all the lessons that we learned from Pixels. It's a mobile first experience, and we know how it's going to monetize inside of Web 2. Like it actually is making revenue inside of Web 2 now through our paid ads. And it doesn't have any of the monetization that we want into it yet. It doesn't have any of the earnings in Chubkins yet, and it's actually generating revenue. So there's interesting developments there. Now, when we think about the future of Pixels, what we want to do is we want to make sure that there's, enough room to make all of these bets and the ability to do that for a long time, right? So a lot of what we're working on in Pixels right now is figuring out what the strategy there is to make sure that, one, there's never a situation where Pixels is going to shut down, and Core Pixels won't. Core Pixels is kind of the foundation of the ecosystem, right? And we can't do that to the community to shut it down. It would never make sense for us. But we do need to think about an ecosystem that grows as well too. So this is kind of where my head is at when it comes to growth. It's like, okay, can we use Stack to fine tune rewards? And can we maybe open up more opportunities for the community to help with development of Pixels, even going as far as open sourcing the server and the client so that users could make their own version of Pixels if they want, or contribute directly to the main branch that has all of the data and the source of truth of current game state right now as well. It's a weird thing to talk about with the community, but it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think a surprise announcement with this stuff is also the way to go about it either. So this is going to be a gradual conversation that we have over the course of the next couple months, right? What does the future of Pixels look like? How do we make this work for all of us in the long run? How do we still make bets in the Pixel ecosystem that will allow for growth in the Pixel ecosystem? And how do we get to a point where we can actually build out funnels for Pixels, right? Because the core game right now, if you guys saw those numbers, the ARPDAU is not really in a spot where we could actually feed back into paid ads yet. So we need to do something. We need to change something. Again, the first line of attack in the immediate short term will be tweaking rewards, right? So you're seeing the first wave of updates to the stacked ecosystem today. And ideally we'll get a loop of self-improving reward spends from this day on, right?
Should we pause? Should we do one of the little trivia giveaways like I mentioned? Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. And then
let me think of a question. I was thinking of some earlier. Okay. One that I thought was really good. This was a team member gave me this idea. What was the name, since he's no longer there, of the fortune teller in the Neon Zone? Okay, and wait, I didn't say what you win. Let's do Lily Wallpaper. Okay, so the first person to comment the name of the fortune teller from the Neon Zone will win some Lily Valley wallpaper. Oh, Mike. Congrats. Okay, fun. I love doing these. I feel like we should do this way more often. But we don't always have fun stuff to give away. Okay, well, congratulations, Mike. You won some, okay, I have to actually write this down or I'm gonna completely forget. Some Lily wallpaper. Also, any community team members watching, please help me, because turns out Discord is banned in Turkey, so I can't get on it. So please reach out to the support team or or the community team, and we'll get you your stuff. Okay, should we do one more? Okay, I know this one was easy. Okay, chill. Guys, we can't do super hard ones every single time, or only the crazy grinders or people that have been around for 4 years are going to get them right. There's got to be a balance here. Although I think Mike's been around a very long time too. So, okay, let me think of something else. Let's do one that's more blockchainy. Okay, wait, what are you gonna win? Let's do the Lily Arch. Okay, you'll win the Lily Arch from this one. Okay, let's make this harder, actually. What month and year did sorry, a team member just messaged me being like, I was first. That's too bad, you're not winning anyways. Okay, what month and year did Pixels migrate to Ronin? What month and year? This one's kind of harder. Nope, you're not there, Kieran. Oh, you guys are close. It feels almost like a trick question because it was technically the last day of the month. Yes, you got it. Okay, congrats, JND Barros. You won a Lily Arch. Make sure you get in contact with our community team or support team. Let me just write this down. JND Barros won Lily Arch. Okay. Okay, wait. I actually also this time, sometimes I'll just like spill tea without asking permission from our design team. There is another feature they're working on. I did actually ask permission to share it just because I don't want to tell you that this is coming and then it not come, because this is such a crazy big feature that you guys have been asking for literally years, and I'm so excited. So anyways, I have major tea to spill right now. Are you ready? ChatGPT, don't cheat. Rude. Okay. The tea I have to spill. Let the suspense kill you. Okay. A VIP tier benefit is going to be the ability to have over 1,000 energy. Is that not the best thing you've ever heard? Now, I don't know the amounts. Don't ask. No idea. I do know how it works though. You will still only have 1,000 passive. Okay. So if you're just chilling, you're not going to go over 1,000. But if you drink an energy drink or you click on the sauna and you have the ability to hit over 1,000, now you can. Wait, I need like one of those. What's like the fireworks one or something? Like I need something. Let's go. We've wanted this for years. It's coming. I'm so excited. I have no idea what the values are, but I know the tech is there. I saw them playing with it last Friday and I was like, I need to spill that so hard. So yes, finally, oh my God, chat's gone wild. Let's go. Over 9K. I don't think it's gonna be that. I don't know the values. Once again, I don't want to speak to it, but it's not going to be that. Like, that would be insane. That would be crazy. But anyways, very, very exciting. Okay. Maybe let's do one more trivia thing and then we'll let Luke answer some more questions. Okay. Deal?
Deal.
Okay. I thought of a question actually when I was doing the Ronin one. Okay, so this one will be for Lily fencing. Okay, for Lily fencing. What blockchain were we on before Ronin?
That could be a trick question.
How? Okay, well then I'll let you choose the answer because I have an answer that I'm thinking. Okay, see, I would choose Polygon. Would you choose ETH?
I mean, so
we have two winners, ETH and Polygon.
Berry was launched on Polygon, but I mean NFT land in the beginning stages before the other on-chain aspects.
Oh, okay. So I should have said what I'm talking about more.
I mean, well, I think Polygon is like the right answer.
Okay, but Silverwing said ETH. So Silverwing and JP, congrats. You both won some Lily of the Valley fencing. Let me just write this down. Silverwing.
Yeah, the history of this is in November 2021 is when the first version of Pixels came out, right? That's when we did the play to mint. And then we started integrating ETH NFTs, Pixel Beast first, then Lazy Lions. We did a play to mint that lasted like 2 months. I think it actually went live on like December 15th, 2021. And then the NFT mint was January 31st, 2022. We did the first NFT land integration where you could actually use your land and change it and edit it in 2023 or March 2022. No way. Yeah, March 2022.
Yeah, okay.
And that was like a creative mode, if you guys remember. Like you could basically just edit and change your land. And then, then we went to work building out chapter 1 of Pixels. That came out in...
Okay, wait. These should be questions. Like you're just spilling all of the tea, the answers.
These should be questions for a future AMA, and you guys will all forget anyways. So yeah, we released chapter 1, I think in November 2022. Maybe it was September 2022. But we went from like nothing to getting a full Web3 game out within 6 months. Like, do you guys understand how crazy that timeline was? The team that's gotten us here is super technical. And
Do you guys remember you had to like, I forget what it was, but like to be able to do some farming thing, you had to like refresh your browser. Like there, like a whole.
well, yeah, I built the first version basically by myself. The first version of Pixels. Then we did like a whole rewrite of the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I will never forget us like sitting down trying to figure out what needed to happen, and it was me being like, Luke, you need to build farming. Luke,
That was
make
maybe,
farming work.
yeah, all you OGs remember. That was the craziest time of my life. I
That
literally
was
slept like
crazy.
I slept
You
maybe
didn't
4
sleep.
hours. Yeah, I slept like 3 to 4 hours a night for like a 4 or 5 month span. It wasn't good. But it
No.
was good. It felt so worth it. That's why, yeah, that's why we're still here building, right? But yeah, so
Yeah.
somebody, Pendeco said something, which is a good point. Um, if your motive is community, tie it up with Pixels DAO and structure it first so you have formal governance. What I was talking to was having two pots, one for ecosystem, one for foundation. So I think what Pendeco is trying to get at here is current state of everything. We have Pixels, right? And Pixels is stable but not growing, right? And that is good but not good at the same time, right? Like an ecosystem that's not growing is one that's also not really succeeding, right? So this is where we're at in the current state. We've been building out Pixels for a long time. We have something that's finally not like dying and bleeding, but it's not growing. So we can give ourselves a little clap for getting something that's not dying and bleeding. But if it's not growing, that's also not great too, because any ecosystem, company, foundation, all of that, they have a mandate for growth. That's how the world works, right? Like that's capitalism in a nutshell. Like having just something that is okay and staying the same is generally not something that is good. Now, one of the hard parts about Web3 in general is growth would be way easier if the macro market was in favor of us, right? And obviously, Pixels rode a wave for a long time of having macro demand fueling a lot of the growth. That's how Axie blew up also. Axie had huge waves of macro demand because the market was booming, because there was something new that led to unsustainable growth. Now we have something in a bear market that has like stable growth, which is a really hard thing to do. So that's good, but we need to pursue growth as well. Now, the way that the foundation is structured is, again, we feel such a duty to the community where a lot of people would think that not having something growing means to kill it. Like that's actually what happens in Web2 games. If you have something that's just stable and not growing and not really generating revenue, normally in Web2, you kill it. That isn't the right thing to do in Web3, right? People purchased NFT lands, people love this game. And the whole point of Web3 is supposed to be ownership, right? Which means ownership over the future of the ecosystem. So one of the things we'll probably start to think about is how we can get Pixels into a spot where we can see if the community can also help with its growth. And then two, we still also reserve some of the funding and treasury for other experiments that might lead to further growth, right? So the further growth are bets like Chubkins and potentially Stacked, right? Chubkins has a good shot of growth. It really does. If we didn't think it did, we would kill it now and just not run it at all. But all the numbers that I'm seeing with Chubkins when it comes to our ad spend, our customer acquisition cost, and some of the revenue it's doing now, it seems pretty positive, right? So one of the things that we probably should do as an ecosystem and foundation is still invest into this potential shot on goal because it's basically almost finished. The next stage is, I think in like a release or two, it'll be done, right? The next stage of that will be kind of figuring out how we can grow it once it's done. Now, obviously, growth is not something you just snap your fingers and have, right? The journey of Chubkins will still be something of like doing live ops, figuring out um, figuring out like how we can actually scale ad spend. One of the struggles with Chubkins will eventually be how much can we spend on ads while being profitable, and what features do we need to add to the game that would lead to like better conversion and the monetization, all of that, right? The other thing that we need to think about with the staking or with the Pixel ecosystem is like maintaining staking stability, right? Staking is still one of the biggest draws into the Pixel ecosystem. It's very, very good for the Pixel ecosystem too, right? Right now, staking is funded through, you know, right now staking is semi-stable and we don't want to disrupt that, right? So things like Pixel Dungeons, somebody asked about that. Like Pixel Dungeons is still giving out decent yield. Somebody was saying, oh, a lot of players are just extracting from Pixel Dungeons. That's a net negative for the ecosystem. I don't actually think it's a net negative for the ecosystem. This stuff is harder to measure the economic impact, but you have to remember that Pixel Dungeons is giving enough yield to draw in 40 million pixel a month right now, or 40 million pixel, right? Like that is a benefit of having that stable in there, right? So yeah, that's kind of the idea. Somebody was saying the total number of players is very, very low. If new players join, they will not invest and spend. So I think it'll take time to recover the number, and keeping it playable is on your hand. So yeah, that is one of the important parts of core pixels, right? Like the fact is we actually do have a sustainable Web3 game, and that actually is an amazing asset for the ecosystem, right? I think, again, the issues with the core game right now are two parts. One part is the reward side, right? I saw some comments saying, why don't you just make the game more fun? And then obviously all these things will get fixed. That's actually not true. You actually do need to figure out both of these things for it to work, right? So this is why we're going to figure out the reward tuning as well. And then it has to be paired with better features as well too. Now, one of the issues in Pixels is we're developer constrained. And also it's funny, whenever you're building a game, you actually do get creativity constrained as well. One of the interesting things is often the community has amazing ideas. Like, for example, we were having a really hard time getting new decorations into the game ourselves for a while. Like, I gave it off to a designer at one point. I was like, hey, we need more decorations inside of the game. And it took a long time to get a list of like several decorations. And then we had to make art for all of this, right? It just took a lot of time. When we started adding in UGC, there was an explosion, right? Because we kind of get to crowdsource your creativity and your art skills and all of this. And
wait, pause. Question. This is a really good question for, I don't know, an outfit or something from a few outfits. I'll give a few outfits from the event. How many UGCs are live and approved in the game right now? Hold on. I need to pull the number up or I'm hurting myself right now. Okay, hold on. Don't comment yet because they won't count until I'm looking at the screen. I need to filter. Hold on. Okay, wait. Oh my God. The number has gone up so much recently. Okay, I'm going to round up to the nearest 100. Okay, all right, go. How many UGC items created by our community are approved in the game right now? Okay, you literally just pulled from a database. Like, how do you have the exact number? Like, you just like, did you just like go and look at some website or something? Because there's no way you guessed it. Anyways, congrats. There are almost 3,000 live UGCs in the game, which Luke can go off about why this is so incredible. Keep going.
But yeah, I mean, this is a good testament to like potentially the power of open source if we were to do that, right? And this is why I'm the most interested in that, where it's like, okay, if we can provide a framework for the rewards so that if somebody were to like build a fork of Pixels or contribute to the core of Pixels, then we still actually might be able to have the best of both worlds, where we help figure out the reward distribution. Also, if you're trying to figure out reward distribution, there's a lot of stuff that a normal person would need to think about. We have really good legal compliant structures for this, basically, where actually the core game never gives out rewards. The foundation gives them out, right? And that makes it a lot easier. So if you were trying to basically launch a Web3 game, there's a lot that you would need to consider on the legal. If we literally just open source the source code, you use our auth and you use our reward platform, and that's the like stipulation behind it. There's something interesting there if we also link it with staking. This idea is not fully developed. I'm not saying we're fully 100% going to do this, But if I'm thinking about the most interesting paths for pixels moving forward, that is probably top of mind. And there's still some strategy that we need to think about to do that. But to me, that's the most elegant solution of figuring out the future of the game, basically keeping it alive, and then also reserving treasury to make sure that pixels can run indefinitely as well. So that's kind of the gist and like headspace right now. That also might mean figuring out what we do with like experiments, right? I think we might need to dial back and focus on like one experiment at a time, right? Like the stack experiment is a big one, right? If we want to fully go all in on the B2B side of things, it's potentially one route that we can go, or we could go all in on Chubkins, right? And like have a stripped back version of two of these things. So this is some of the thought process that we'll be talking about with you guys more, maybe doing bigger announcements and making changes towards. I think it's a better way to kind of like casually talk about these things with you guys in AMAs for this reason. Also to give assurance that nothing's shutting down, nothing's going away. And, you know, we're still going to be here and building. While also like telling you guys, hey, this is where it's at right now. We still need to find a way to grow. Now, when it comes to current strategy, one of the things that the team is still working on is we're still working on the new user experience. Again, one of the things we found with the core game is new users are actually the ones that are the best users inside of the gaming ecosystem currently. They're actually carrying a lot of the return on reward spend, the users who are coming in now, right? Which says a couple things. One, it says we're not really distributing rewards properly to the right users all the time. Two, it says new audiences are actually probably viable for Pixels too. So there might be a path there eventually if we can combine new user acquisition with new game features with better reward optimization. And then, yeah, I don't know. When I think about what excites me about potential for Pixels, like the idea of something that a lot of people can contribute towards, to me seems like a very interesting route to go down. And then two, something that actually really might have the potential to work, because we've actually seen a lot of people in this community contribute and build amazing tooling with such limited resources towards actually accessing Pixels data. If you were actually able to run your own Pixels on your own server, and then still tap into our reward infrastructure and the Pixel infrastructure and the shop and the store, imagine that. There might be something interesting there. Like, for example, a lot of people ask for combat all the time. I bet a motivated vibe coder or a motivated dev could probably add that themselves, launch a fork of Pixels with combat, and have that be a separate economy, all of this stuff. The team itself, like, we don't have the resources to run experiments on 10 different versions of the game. But if there's something there for you guys and the ability to do that like easily and cheaply and take advantage of the work that the Pixels ecosystem has done for the community already, then there might be something there, right?
Chat is crazy right now, but I just asked Claude for question ideas. Sorry, I gave the funniest one ever. Okay, so let's do for some Quicksilver. This is so funny. I can't believe Claude came up with this. Claude coming up with this is a testament to how insane our community is. Okay, who is the best mod?
I think Rag Poet.
Okay, then you're not in on it. You don't get it.
No, I'm in on it.
Who is best mod? You must be. There's no way you're not in on this. Who is best mod? There you go. Congrats, Thorniak. Congrats. You won some Quicksilver. Hold on, let me write this down. Who is best mod? And it is Thorniak, and you won Quicksilver. Nice. Okay.
Are you still doing something?
Nope. I thought I clicked it by accident. If that was you, go off.
No, this is like a question about open source. Why not push the main? So there's two options that you can go with open source. Like one is everybody's contributing to the same code base, or two, like people can fork and build their own as well. Pushing the main is interesting. One of the things that we'll need to figure out if we were to open source is what you do with the main DB, or like what you do with current game state. Like I think what a lot of people want is all of their same balances and then fork of the game, right? That might not be so easy to pull off. But yeah, that would be the advantage of pushing to main instead. What would probably be easiest if somebody forked and then merged into main. Some interesting features. That would be possible if we open sourced game server and game client, right? Now, two of the things we'll have to consider are, and like some of the stuff that will take time is security. Somebody asked a very good question about bots. Wouldn't open sourcing Pixel open it up to bots? So there's a couple risks with open sourcing. One is it opens it up to make it easier to bot, yes, but the thing is, like a motivated botter already can figure it out. Where if you open source it, it would make it even easier to bot. But the main botting problem inside of Pixels is when bots come to extract, right? Like that's the reason why a bot is bad. When there's Sybil attacks and when there's extraction. And this is what Stacked can solve if we do it right. So in an open source situation, what we would most likely do is we would remove withdraw deposit from the open source. So that wouldn't get open sourced. That would lower some attack vector risk, even though we white hat hack it a good amount. Like it is pretty solid. It just removes a little bit of uneasiness. And then two, we have the rewards go through Stacked, right? Instead of in the game. And then we can remove a lot of the economic incentive of botting, right? But in this situation, if we were to open source, maybe somebody would build a bot-friendly fork of Pixels. And that might be an interesting thing still, right? Especially if they're paying for that server cost.
Okay, it is time. Should we do one more question, or is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we close it out?
So, yeah, I think this is an interesting time in Web3 gaming, right? I think the duty that we have to the community right now is to build something that's durable and can last for the community, and also still experiment with growth. Like those are the two initiatives that we have, right? This is generally where I'm leaning in these directions, and making sure that we have sufficient runway to do all of this kind of stuff, right? And this is probably what you'll start to expect announcements from in the next like couple months on which direction we completely choose. The good news is we have so much of the infrastructure set up to be able to do this. And again, anything that we do, it's going to take months. Even open sourcing, it's going to like to really do it in a safe way will still take months, but it's possible and it's definitely feasible, especially if we do it in these ways. So this is not a 100% confirmation that we're going to be going in this direction. There's a lot of considerations that we have to think about when it comes to the token and all of these like staking ecosystems. So we'll be working towards the most elegant solution in whatever this is. But the key principles that we're going to have over the next few months as we're figuring out what next steps for Pixels are is one, again, maintaining a duty to this core community who's stuck here and trying to work with you guys to figure out the best solution for everybody. Two, still having some avenues to pursue growth, right? Because again, if we were just to cut everything else and not pursue growth, that also is kind of a loss for the ecosystem, right? Like why continue at all in that scenario if we don't think we can grow, right? And again, my strongest bet on growth with what we currently have right now would likely be monetizing Chupkins and hooking it up into the staking and stacked ecosystem. But maybe there's something else that will emerge too. Hard to say right now. But that's what we're going to keep looking out for. So yeah, I hope this all makes sense and feels good to people. And we'll keep talking with the community on what makes sense as well. This is why we do these.
You know what is going to emerge? Babu Boo.
Yeah, they're probably, if we open sourced for sure, I bet the first thing that pops up is a version of Pixels with only Bobs.
Yes, no, 100%. This is such a unnecessary side note, but I feel like Labubus are expensive here. Because someone was asking me. I got this in Vietnam. I love the mini ones, and I got it in Vietnam for like €7. So, anyway, shout out to Vietnam and the mini Labubus specifically. Okay. There was something else I was gonna do. Oh, we were gonna do one last question. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, let's I had an idea. I wrote it down. Hold on. Oh, okay. And Luke, I could be wrong on this because this launched before I joined the team. But what was the theme of the very first quest in Pixels? Like rough theme of the very first quest in Pixels.
Do
I
you know
think there
this?
was only one before I joined, right? There was
No,
only
there were
one.
like 4 or 5.
Okay, well then we're screwed. Do you know it then?
Wow. I mean, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, if you say what I'm thinking, you can win. Oh, I don't even know what your Quicksilver. Let's do more Quicksilver. Let's see. Let's see. Fufu. This is actually not a Lafufu. I do have a Lafufu. These are legit, but they're the baby ones, so they're like not as desired, I guess. There's like the big ones are so enormous. Like I don't like carrying them around. Okay. Hotberry, no, we didn't have farming, guys. We didn't have farming. Barney's farm tutorial. I don't. Luke was no.
No.
Waterman was added way later. We literally didn't have fishing until like last year. Clovers, no, that was added when we did like a St. Patty's Day event years later. Barney's farm
I'm not sure
tutorial.
if Barney was in the game then.
Yeah, I don't think so either. No, just like give me like a very general theme of like a quest. Cooking with Karen. Nope, no. Karen didn't exist back then. Go with the first NPC store owner in Bucks Galore.
I mean, I think that's like kind of that's so ambiguous.
That's
It
not
makes
the
me
one
think
that I
I
know.
don't know.
Yeah. No, it was this one. This is the one I'm thinking of. It was like a holiday Christmas event on that Winterland.
Well,
This is what I'm thinking of.
there were more before that.
So, okay, well that sucks. Anyways, Mike, you can win.
Wait. I think this is right.
Really? I don't
Yeah,
even know that one.
I think this is right. Yeah, the quest was basically you talk to NPCs, and it would tell you to like talk to other NPCs to like do this riddle, and you had to talk to the NPCs in a certain order. And that was kind of the riddle to uncover. Like if you didn't talk to the NPC,
I'm sorry, but there's no way that tech actually worked right back then because
no, it worked.
we had to have a quest like built like that later on, and it was like breaking because if you talk to the wrong, it was like a mess.
No, it worked.
Maybe it just broke afterwards. Who knows? Okay, well, Mystery Thief. I've never even heard of this quest. So, Pixel Kiki, you have won some Quicksilver, and Mike, you also won some Quicksilver simply because you had the answer that I was thinking of, which was the Winter Quest. If you won anything today, please get in touch with a community team member or support if you want to go that path, and we'll send you your fun items. I think these are fun little things. We're gonna run out of questions, so I'm gonna have to really prepare if we continue doing this because we're gonna run out of all the like high level ones. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us today, guys, and we will see you next week. Don't forget the big gigantic VIP update is coming Monday, June 1st at 6 p.m. UTC. And with that, we'll see you next week.
Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.